there is a guy by the name of Cecil Bothwell who recently won an election to become part of the city council for the city of Asheville, North Carolina. And this man is an atheist. And because he is an atheist, his opponents are now considering filing a lawsuit against the state of North Carolina because the state of North Carolina has a little-known provision in their Constitution. Article 6, Section 8 of the North Carolina State Constitution says that the following persons shall be disqualified for office. First, any person who shall deny the being of the Almighty God. So basically, the North Carolina State Constitution says that atheists cannot serve, and the opponents of Cecil Bothwell say that the state constitution is very clear on this. Cecil Bothwell should not be allowed to serve because he is an atheist. They're planning to file a lawsuit against the city that could go on for years and years to come. In fact, Cecil Bothwell might be out of office by the time this whole issue is actually decided in the courtroom, but the conventional legal wisdom is that they don't have a prayer, because you see, in 1961, the U.S. Supreme Court said that it's unconstitutional to say that atheists can't hold public office. Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution is very clear. It says that no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. So the U.S. Constitution basically trumps the state constitution, and they really don't have much of a case from a legal point of view. And I suppose that someone could argue that because they know they have no case, they're wasting tax dollars by bringing this matter to court, but I'm not going to argue that personally, because I've always believed that if you perceive a law to be unjust, you should challenge it, and you should break it. That's why I've always believed that if you think drug laws are unjust, you shouldn't obey them. If you think laws about prostitution are unjust, you shouldn't obey them. I believe that if you find a law to be unjust, but you still obey it anyway, then you're an unjust individual. So I think that if you're a Christian and you legitimately believe that atheists should not be allowed to hold public office, that you should fight for that. So I'm not going to argue against these people from a legal standpoint. What I am going to do is just show you how wretched and vile and contemptuous these people really are. Because think about this. How horrible does a person have to be to say that if you don't share my values, if you don't share my beliefs, then I don't think that you should be allowed to hold a public office. I don't think that you should be allowed to lead people, even if they democratically elected you to do so. I don't want you holding public office in my country. I mean, I hate Sarah Palin. I hate her rotten f***ing guts. I mean, if Sarah Palin died in a plane crash tomorrow, my eulogy for her would be 3 words long. Good f***ing riddance. But that being said, if Sarah Palin legitimately wins an election, I want her to be able to hold public office. You know, sure, I will hate her, and I will hate everyone that voted for her, but I would hate it a lot more if the people's will was just denied arbitrarily because of some bullshit clause. She can't hold public office because she's a bitch, and it clearly says in our little charter that we made up that no bitches are allowed to hold public office, therefore she ain't allowed, get her out of here. I would be a lot more disgusted by the fascism of denying people their choice than I would be disgusted with an evil person like Sarah Palin actually holding public office. Now, speaking of wretched, contemptible douchebags, guess who's back? Yeah, it's the teabaggers, or I'm sorry, the Tea Party Patriots, the Tea Party Protestors, who took a stand against President Obama and his taxes, which are the same as Bush's taxes and Clinton's taxes. And I mean, sure, he taxes us the same as any president for him. And also, recent studies have shown that the majority of the deficit is actually to be pinned on Bush's policies rather than Obama's. But still, he's black. It's called the White House for a reason. Anyway, there's a teabagger by the name of Mary Hyatt who wants to make it mandatory for California schools to make the kids sing Christmas carols. And I'm not talking like Frosty the Snowman, I'm talking like the Jesus Christmas carols. Fall on your knees and hear the angel voice says, kind of shit. And she complained, and this is a direct quote, "We were having Christmas without Jesus. Oh no, Christmas without Jesus. What will the children do with only Santa Claus and his magic reindeer and presents and lights and snow and all that shit? Man, oh man, how will they ever get by without the most exciting part of Christmas, Jesus getting born? Because I know when I was a kid, I didn't give a crap about presents. All I cared about was that little baby in the manger with the animals and the three wise It's this typical American Christian fallacy to equate Christmas with Jesus. I mean, anyone who's watched my video, An Atheist Christmas, The Reason for the Season, and I'll link it right, I don't know, here. You can check that out, and you can find out why there really isn't much of a connection between Jesus and Christmas. It's entirely fabricated. But the real gem of a quote came from Aaron Ryan, the president of the Reading Tea Party Patriots. Bottom line is, Christmas is about Christmas. That's why we have it. It's not about winter solstice or Kwanzaa. It's like, wow, you guys, it's called Christmas for a reason. That's some powerful stupid. First of all, there are lots of people all across this country and all across this planet who do, in fact, call it Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, or winter solstice, or something else. And you say, it's called Christmas for a reason. I mean, how stupid are you? I mean, Christmas is just the name that the Christians slapped on the holiday when they stole it from the pagans. It's like if I stole your car and then I paint the words TJ Mobile on the side. And then you're like, hey man, that's my car. And I said, hey dude, it's called the TJ Mobile for a reason. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Favorite this video if you agree. Spread the awareness, destroy the system. Goodbye.